meeting to order. Real estate facilities land management is March 5th, approximately 4:30. Need approval of minutes from August 14th, 2018.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it. Any changes? All in favor? Aye. Mr. Elliott was not in attendance at that meeting, is that correct?
That's correct, and that is
All
a vote.
right. All right, just want to get that confirmed out there. All right, we'll jump into discussion items. We got Mr. Stanley Gibson. Come on right up and give us a little fill in on the farm center.
All right, thank you so much. I am Stanley Gibson. I'm the chairman of the board for the farm center, and we are slowly moving forward thanks to all the rain that we've had. I think we've had 5 events canceled since last fall. It's pretty much, so you can go and put on your calendar, March 30th is our next event we got. So figure the last week of March, we're going to have rain, because that seems to be the way that's going. You know, we do have some positive things happening, though. We'll be moving forward, or with C funds and such, with the second entrance. Anyone who was at the fair last year knows that, especially on Saturday, it got a little bit hectic out there, and we had traffic backed up both ways, which, you know, if you're an event, that's a great thing. That means people are trying to get in to see you for one time. If it happens again next year, people decide, well, this may not be worth it. So hopefully we can get that worked out and get a little better traffic flow going on that. We were successful with getting another farmers market grant, so Ms. McPhail will have that to offer additional senior vouchers. Also do some advertising, have some giveaways that she can do with the farmers market there. One of the highlights that we've had here recently is being adopted by Leadership Oconee. And they have been fantastic working with us, a lot of different fundraisers. They have 3 main areas that they're looking to assist the farm center. One is to come up with an arena drag that we can use in the arena to keep it fit for usage during events and getting ready for events. The other is beautifying the entrance there, doing some landscaping around it to make it a little more appealing aesthetically as people come in, and then also extending the entrance all the way down to where the current wood line is now, making that 2 lanes wide so you've got safe entrance and exit out of that area when we've got smaller events going on. So we're especially pleased to have them on board, and we're really honored that they see the same dream that we have and have bought into what we're doing there. As far as the farm center itself, the things that we're focusing on now are, again, it kind of all goes back to the rain, but also for a more quick turnaround is we're looking at developing the amphitheater and trying to get the cover for the arena. That seems to be where our largest concentration of events or potential events are, and if we can move forward with that, then that's something I think that we can get the biggest payback on going forward. And then as we grow, we move into the other facilities that we've got planned there. The amphitheater, I just talked to one of our board members today that also does some engineering work, and we're going to look at trying to set that up in a piecemeal situation so we can get a basic cover there that we can use, start having events, and then as we grow, we add to that, you know, put a few more bells and whistles on it and make it go. The covered arena is a little bit different story. You know, you can't just kind of do a little bit on it and then come back and do the other. So that's definitely a big ticket item that we're working toward. The hindrance that we've had, again, has been the rain. We do have other events planned. March 30th, we've got team roping. From what we have heard, we had one planned for the 23rd of February, but as we know, that didn't happen because we had rain. But the expectation is to have upwards of 300 teams there for that team roping event. So it would be an all-day event. The positive for us is we would end up clearing several $1,000s on that just from the entry fees from the contestants. So we have a team roping scheduled for March the 30th, another on April 27th, and then the final one on May 18th, unless they reschedule that first one that got rained out. So that's we like that because that gives us a little bit of seed money that we can use to do some of the smaller things there that need to be done on site, the improvements that need to be made. We also have a barrel racing event scheduled for April the 14th. And then our next, I guess, bigger event will be May the 3rd and 4th, when we'll have a rodeo at the arena there. So we've been working on that as much as we can between the thunderstorms and the rain and everything else. But we feel like that we've got a good situation there. We've got the facilities that we have that are useful during good weather. You know, what we've got to do is start looking forward and planning ahead some so that we can fully implement all the facilities that we need to put in there and then have it available regardless of the weather. It was interesting. I talked to the folks that are going to be doing some clearing of trees, and he's in the same boat as everybody else. He said, I'm about 3 months behind on everything we're doing because you just can't get in and do anything. So we are moving forward. It is at a soggy pace, but that kind of gives you an update of where we stand. So if anybody has any questions, I'll be glad to answer what I can.
I was trying to think if this is the first one that you've been at since y'all had your festival. I believe it is, the fair.
I think you're
it
correct.
is.
Yes,
So,
sir.
I was remembering that. But I do want to congratulate you. I went 3 out of, how many have you, 4 days? Is it 4 day
5
festival?
days.
5 days?
Mm-hmm.
So 3 out, and the largest attendance I've ever seen. I've been to every single one of them besides one. And do y'all have any attendance? I know sometimes we always used to say, well, it was just the elementary schools, but I think when you look back at when we were there, especially, I mean, there was, you know, my daughter wanted to have her birthday party there, so she sent out an invite, and nobody said no. So it was an exciting time for a lot of people, and I just, it was amazing how many people were there, and I think that speaks volumes that this county does support what you're doing, and the citizens continue to support it. And traffic is a good thing, and the ability to solve it is, I think, what we're looking to. So do you have any attendance numbers that y'all have or kept with you or whatever?
The numbers that we had ran about a little over between 10 and 11,000 paid entrants. You know, then you add to that all the folks that are working there, all the other groups that come in. And so, you know, it gets up closer to 12 to 13,000 once you add everybody up. But for a smaller venue like we are right now, you know, we're still in the growing process. That was year number 10, and this was our 4th location. So, you know, we were very pleased.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know. It's like everything else. You do all the work, you never know if anybody's going to show up or not. But we were definitely pleased to get the crowd that we had that came out.
And I think one of the other things I wanted to mention is your events. I've been to several of those. Those people stay on site and they stay in Oconee County while they're here, and they go to the restaurants and everything else like that. And I really appreciate it. I think it's great to see those teams continue to go and look forward, and just to hear what they say on the outside about the event venue and things like that. And again, the ones I've been at, you've had several hundred people staying up there. So it's not all about having a hotel.
Right.
They bring their hotels with them. So
that is true. Some of them are very impressive hotels.
That's correct. That's correct. So any other council member comments?
No, I'm just glad to hear things are going well, and I know the weather's negatively affected most industries. So I'm sorry that y'all we're not left unscathed. Hopefully we'll get some dry weather over the next, as we enter into the warmer months. Hopefully this isn't permanent.
Yeah, when the water turns off, it'll just turn off probably. We won't get anything.
It'll be a dust storm out there.
That's right. We'll be crying for the other reason.
I do remember a time when it was so dusty out there at the other location, you couldn't hardly walk. So, and we were bringing in water trucks. Was that not last? Is that not 2 years ago?
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, we were bringing in water trucks from Westminster to water down the fairgrounds.
That's right.
Yeah, congratulations. You may not need those this year.
That's right.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
All right. The next one we have the Fair Play School. Talk on that. We did talk about that through strategic planning. Ms. Brock, would you like to give an update on that?
Yes, sir, I would. Most of the information I have, though, is from November of 2018. I did not myself work on this project, but I do have some estimates provided to us by Terracon, our engineering consulting firm of contract. The estimates both are approximately $200,000 for the abatement and demolition down to the concrete pad. I did not email them and ask them the significance of keeping or retaining the concrete pad, but both of them recommended that the concrete pad stay in place and not be a part of the demo. That may have been a cost factor, I'm assuming, because of the weight of the concrete. This were for the entire school facility, cafeteria, school building, and gym. In addition to the abatement and remediation, there was an estimation provided plus or minus $20,000 for air monitoring. To my knowledge, there was never any forward movement on that. It was just obtaining the estimates themselves.
Yeah, it was. The original abatement did not include the entire school. It was only
The
cafeteria or something like that. So the reason for the extra study was to incorporate the school in that. So the entire project removal would be $220,000 is what the
Plus
estimate
or
on that
minus,
would
yes,
be.
sir.
Okay. All right. Any other questions on that? Okay. Westminster Magistrate. We had identified a building that met the needs, and I know from the standpoint of that building, it was actually purchased by an investor, so I consider that a positive thing as we move forward, especially for Westminster, for somebody purchasing that building. Do you want to go and touch base on where we're at now?
We are now at third time's the charm, we hope. A third location possibility. We're going to look at the building at the end of the week. This week, as far as I can gather right now, that was sort of tentative as of this afternoon, but feeling more toward the confirmed. This building is one that we had previously looked at as a maybe. It's looking like it could be a positive. The money we had spent previously on the conceptual drawings for the facility that we looked at that sold, at least we have pieces to a jigsaw puzzle now, so the square footage total is roughly the same. The layout of the building may be a little different based on load-bearing walls, restroom access, water facilities, and that sort of thing. But at least now we have something to work with and can pick up the pieces and put them back in a building that would be cohesive. Hopefully we'll have a drawing on that should we move forward with it after looking at the building within 3 to 4 weeks.
Right. So maybe we could get as early as the March 19th meeting. April. There we go.
If we had one on April 1st and it would be an April Fool's meeting, we could probably do that.
There we go. So
March
let's-
19th might be pushing it for a
So,
drawing now.
so hopefully we can bring, at April the 2nd, is that what I'm seeing on there? So,
It's feasible, yes, sir.
yeah, let's see if we can push something through and have something on April the 2nd for something with that,
The goal is set.
okay? Any other business to discuss? Before we adjourn, we will take a 15-minute recess in between the two meetings, to get through our YouTube and make sure everything posts up there properly on there. So, get a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.